In that case, who? Holler, clap, cheer, welcome to the stage for the second act of the evening, the one, the only, the wonderful Ash Preston!
Oh, there we go. Hello, you alright? Yeah. Lovely stuff. I'm going to do some jokes for you. Now, some of you might find the jokes funny. That would be great. It would be really helpful. Some of you might not find them funny, and it's 2023, I've got an opinion, so that's fine. And if you don't like the jokes, you can look at each other during the next interval and say, God, you know what? That lady with the beard that won Eurovision, right? Yeah. Better singer and a comedian, it turned out, as well. Yeah. So, my name's Ash. I'm actually a bit of a TV comedian now. Thank you. Oh yes, a little rustle of noise. What have you been on, Ash? Was it Question Time? Of course not. Was it Love Island? No. Glossop, I only do prestige television, so if you happen to be a parameter of Channel 5 specifically, and their TV series Bargain Loving Brits by the Sea, Series 3, Episode 3, they took their time to get to the matinee angle, didn't they? And it was in Blackpool, and I have to say, guys, for the 19 seconds I was featured on television, I think I revolutionised that genre. And it was incredible. All they aired was my introduction, which is what I'm going to tell you now. And it's, hi, my name's Ash Preston. What can I tell you about myself? Well, I'm the 3-time Northwest Regional semi-finalist of the Charles Manson Lookalike competition. Edit, that's all they show. What a legacy. You would think being compared to the most famous cult leader ever would be the worst thing anyone could say about your appearance. But I've met humans, and while I fundamentally enjoy their company, a lot of the time, they can be shitheads. I live in Manchester. When it rains, it pours there. I'm outside of a thrift shop, I'm having a cigarette, I'm in Piccadilly Gardens, I'm not in a good mood, and an old lady comes up to me and gives me a £1 coin. And I get the vibe, you're all like, and we know why, Ash. Got a little no fixed abode vibe about you coming up. And I decided to make a point to this lady, and rather than just give the pound to her, I tapped her on the shoulder, and I put on my big boy voice, and I went, excuse me, and she turned around, and I said, hi, sorry, there's been a terrible mistake here. I don't actually need this, I'm really sorry. And she did that lovely thing that an old lady does, you know, your nan, with that smile you can't say bloody no to, right? And she clasped the £1 into my hand, and she looked me in the eyes and she went, oh, that's very brave, and walked off. I still had the £1 in my hand. She still thought I was homeless, but I was very much in the denial stage, I think, in her mind. It's not all about looking like this, though. I had some other TV auditions. You see, you didn't go woo that time. It's like you've all gone, as what, Ash? Was it an E-Fit on Crime Watch? No, because the show isn't on telly anymore, and I would have liked that role. Anyway. What happened was, a company got in touch with me, a production company, and said, we'd like to audition for something. We think you look perfect for the part, right? And I am also not one to pass up a compliment, so I went along. And they sat me down and they said, Ash, we've got this part for you, we'd like you to read through it. And I said, yeah, go ahead. And they went, can we ask you first, have you heard of the Yorkshire Ripper Peter Sutcliffe? Yeah, and it was the way they worded it as well. Have you heard of? And part of it wanted to be like, no, never heard of him, sell me the role. From what you've said, he sounds like quite a character. And the thing is, I didn't get the part, right? Again, nicely, you've all gone, good, that's a good thing. Is that a good thing? But then 8 months later, another production company got in touch with me for another role. And I thought, oh, this is good now. I've learned from my mistake of the first time. I was a bit surprised being offered the role of the Yorkshire Ripper, so I'll be better. It's another audition for another role, it's great. And they sat me down and they said, Ash, we've got this part for you. We'd like you to read for the part of Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper. It's a documentary series. Have you ever heard of it? Yes, I'm aware of it now. I'm aware of it. And if you really want to give a real kind of boost to me, like, well, that's good, Ash, you got another chance at it. Yeah, I got another chance at something I didn't want to do in the first place, and to really drive it home, I didn't get the part twice! Now, if you mess up at something once in your life, it's fine, isn't it? Pull up your boots and do something else, it's grand. But if you mess up at something twice, even if you didn't intend to do it once, you still kind of end up analysing yourself, having a little look in the mirror, and not in a good way, kind of going, I mean, is it me? Am I not good enough to be the Yorkshire representative? And it also means that 2 different production teams have looked at pictures of me, not just pictures of me, my professional actor headshots, which if you don't know how it works, they take about 100 photos of you, and then they ask you to whittle them down to about 6 where you think you look castable and attractive. And they've looked at me and gone, murderer. And that's still not the worst one. The worst one I ever had was at a gig in Real, right? I won't have any more laughing at the wooden place of Real. Have we been to Real? Oh, I have so much fun whenever I gig in Real. These are things that have happened when I've gigged in Real. First time I was there, I got career advice in comedy by the actor who played Les Battersby in Coronation Street while he was pissed out of his mind, right? The second time I was there, I got told I was performing outside the theatre where John Preston punched that bloke with a permit through an egghead once. So I considered that holy ground. And then the other time I was there, I did a gig in a caravan park in November, right? Yeah, you're thinking about it, aren't you? It was full of the exact people you see in a caravan park in Real in November. So that weird mix of like human beings smashed into like sort of livestock DNA with BSE. That kind of vibe. And I had this lady come up to me going, I've got a look like about you. And I went, oh, grand, go ahead, because that's how people approach me. And she went, I think you look like the singer James Blunt if You're Beautiful hadn't have been a hit. Because my life's brilliant, isn't it? But I love doing comedy, and this audience actually reminds me of a horrible nightmare I had, which is always when you can see it. Not you, but I did a gig, so I did my first Edinburgh Fringe about 6 years ago. And if you've never been up there, what you've got to do if you're not a big name, is lots of gigs in the day to sort of do flyering and sort of help each other out and kind of stuff like that, you know. So I was doing a gig at 11 a.m. right? Which I think we can agree, Blossom, is like, the peak time for live comedy entertainment. And I'm on stage, and I hadn't seen the audience, and I got on stage, and I saw the room, there was about 60 people in there, and it turned out half of the audience were children aged 7 to 10. Oh, great. What am I gonna do? Because I swear I say rude things, I didn't want to offend the little kids in the room, or the quite intimidating Scottish dads, right? And then I remembered, fidget spinners. No, don't laugh, there's logic. Kids like fidget spinners. Parents buy fidget spinners. I have a joke in my act about fidget spinners. This gig, Ash, has been saved. Started doing the joke. Realised in the middle of telling my first joke that the punchline to that joke was Kitty Fiddler. And there was a lad where you are, right, who shook his head confused. And because, even though people think comedians are quite quick, sometimes we're a bit slow on the uptake. So I thought he shook his head because he didn't get the joke. So going on that path, and not really thinking about the next sentence that came out of my mouth, right, I said, hey mate, don't worry if you don't understand that joke, you'll find out when you're older. And it was at that moment, I realised, I think you said something quite bad, right? And what you do in a situation like that when you panic and you mess up is you try to just get out of it, don't you? But what you do when you're on stage and your adrenaline's running and your ego's going, is you do a thing that you try once in your life and you're convinced it'll help, but it doesn't work. And it's a concept called digging up. You dig up, you dig up. So after saying you'll find out when you're older, I then panic going, not that anyone would! And I said that pointing to his dad as well. And as I said that, I started getting even more panicky. And like double panicking, and then my brain was going, hang on a second, Ash, have you just implied to that kid's dad that his kid is now too ugly to be kidnapped? I don't know, I'm digging up, and it's not working. Do you know who did dig up and worked out for him? Peter Sutcliffe, the Yorkshire Ripper! He was a grave digger. Do you know why I know that? Because I looked it up, because I researched the role. What I'm saying is, I should have got the part! Weird thing happened to my family as well, right? Well, I'll tell you what it is, they joined a cult, right? Thank you, a nice bit of respect there. My mum and sister joined a cult, it was a bit weird, and I'm also being a dickhead, because I'm lying, being facetious, because I refer to it as a cult. My mum and sister, they call it Slimming World. But it's a cult. Isn't it? It gives off the vibe. You know, can anyone sort of tell me what they call the calories in Slimming World? Sins. Now, robbery, kidnapping, murder, a sin, leftover cottage pie. You know, it's got that way, and sins with a Y. Why? Because you're in a cult. Hello, sister, what are you drinking there? It's a kind of Diet Coke. Don't you mean Diet Coke? Because that's what you're in! And my sister, though, in fairness, is fine. And my mother is a little more what I would call indoctrinated to the cause. Right? So I ask her how it's going, and she'll look at me and she'll go, "So, since me and my friends started what we in our chats call the programme, I am what you would call a new woman. In fact, son, I have been on Slimming World for 8 weeks, and I know what a smack addict feels like." Beg your pardon? And she looked at me and she went, "I watched this documentary, son, about people called cold turkey, right? That is the exact action she made, cold turkey. Real empathy, right?" And I said, "Go ahead." And she went, "Well, when they've been off the drugs and stuff and they go clean, they get the shakes and stuff, because their body's reacting." And I'm like, "Yeah, well, where's this going?" Well, I've had a dairy milk for 8 weeks, shaking like a leaf I am. And I'm like, no, you can't compare giving up chocolate to smack. You know, it's two very different things when you think about it. She goes, no, it's the same reaction. We both get the shakes and stuff, because we're both recovering. And I'm like, no. What I'm trying to stress is, the psychological differences among the body. What I'm trying to stress to you is that I have not seen anyone down a back alley giving a blowjob for a Freddo. I mean, I've not been hanging around the back of the globe, so I don't know what this town's like. But if you're interested and you're on Slimming World, a Freddo, 5 sins, so you're doing alright for yourself. I've been single for like 6 years. The utter silence with you all there is like, after what you've told us, Ash, we understand why. It was weird for me growing up though. I didn't understand it as a kid, like, sexuality. I got into it very late. Like, I'll give you an example, right? I'm in my 30s. I used to watch episodes of Baywatch for the plot. You know, I think the problem I also have is that I only know 2 real big topics of conversation, and that is obscure facts about serial killers, which I think I've made clear, and the cartoon Scooby-Doo. Yeah, it's very hard to keep 2 courses in a tiramisu of conversation going over those 2 subjects, right? And the reason why I find them interesting is because, and I hate to use this word because it's a bit disgusting and uncouth, but serial killers get quite a lot of pussy. Sorry to use that term, but that's what it is. And I don't want to be controversial here, but I'm not on board with that. It's very interesting because you'll see these things, like for example, the Night Stalker, right? He did a lot of bad stuff in LA in America, and they put him on death row. Death row in America, in like San Quentin. And he has 2,000 marriage proposals. 2,000 from those women, you know, and I don't mean to generalise it as women because it happens to men as well, but those people who are like, oh, I can change them. Oh, I know the court and the witnesses and the victims and the victim's family say he's a monster, but I understand him. And it's like, yeah, I mean, fair, but you've set the bar high as well. I mean, he's a murderer on death row. America doesn't want him to be alive anymore. You've tried high there. What I would have done is I'd have done a pyramid thing. I would start with a train spotter and worked your way up. That's what I would have done. Or me, I know too much about serial killers, and there'll be 7 blokes in Ernston, and I know every fact of Scooby-Doo, and I've got it all on DVD. Fucking change me! I'm gonna finish for you now. Not like that, sorry. It's a Sunday in Gloucester, I mean a Saturday in Gloucester with all your keys in the same bowl, different things altogether. But I'm going to tell you a story about something that happened to me on a train. Oh, I know, very exciting, like you all have to fucking get one. Right, anyway, have you ever had to get the last train though? Like the drove train? Yeah, the one that goes to every single stop. Some people do call it the drove train. I'm a little more illiterate to it. I like to call it Agatha Christie's Murder on the Trans-Canal Express. And there's one seat available on this train that I'm on, right? One seat. And the woman next to this empty seat is a nun, of all people. And she's got her bag on the spare seat, which in my opinion makes her a nun with a bit of a bad habit. That's what they wear on their heads. Get fucked, great one, Blossom. Anyway, I say to her, is anyone sat there? And she says, yes. But there was no one sat there. So I can only assume she was reserving that seat for God, right? Created the world in 7 days, but you really look in the fine parts of the New Testament, he bloody loved a rail saver as well, apparently. So I've got to stand on this really busy train, right? There's been a Man City match on and a Kylie Minogue concert on, so it is absolutely packed. I have got drunk people to the left of me, a Hendy to the right, here I am stuck in the middle with you. And I turn around after 10 minutes and what do I see? What do I see? What do I see? I see you! Not actually you, dear, but metaphorically a lady. You got on the same platform as me, so we got on the train after the nun, and she got the seat next to the nun. And it got me thinking, what did I do wrong? What could I have done to have got that seat next to the nun? What could I have offered her? A vow of chastity? I mean, I've told you about the sex life. Wouldn't be a massive sacrifice now, would it? What did she do to get the seat next to the nun? Does she know all the lyrics to Sister Act the musical? Because guess who fucking does? And you know the most humiliating thing was about it, the most embarrassing thing about this entire situation on the train? It was this. You would think, wouldn't you, gossip? You would bloody well think. But after 2,000 years, a nun sees someone who looks like moi on the train. She should have welcomed me with open arms. Amen. You've been really lovely. You've got an amazing headliner on, so I'm going to bring on your MC now. I just want to say, if you want to follow me, you can. I am getting the half count to 10 from Gloucester. We'll see what happens. Enjoy your minute,